Hello! We're just gonna jump right into this video. My name is Jessie, welcome. I'm starting a 100 drawing challenge. 100 drawings? I don't know. It is an art challenge where you choose a theme and then you draw it 100 times. I'm gonna get into why I'm doing this and what I'm hoping to get out of it, but first let's talk about what I'm doing in this video. I chose chickens as the thing that I'm drawing for the first challenge. So I've drawn the shape of the chickens in alcohol marker, and then I'm going to layer colored pencils over the top. And I'm working with these super bright neon colored pencils to kind of make a patchworky looking whimsical flock of really colorful chickens. Okay, so while it plays out, I'll just tell you a little bit about my art background and what my goals are with this challenge and beyond. I've been drawing digitally in Procreate for like 3 or 4 years. And before that, I was rendering illustrations with acrylic paint, and I did that for, gosh, I don't even know, 3-4 years of that too. And the goal there was just to make as realistic a representation of a thing as I could. And I got pretty good at that, especially when I switched to digital. I wasn't doing hyper realistic drawings or anything like that, but realistic-ish. And the reason that I started doing any of that in the first place was to make artwork that I could use to design stationery products and sell them. I knew how I wanted them to look, and so I didn't really spend any time experimenting with different styles or mediums. I just decided that I was going to use acrylic paint, and that was that. And then, of course, because I started a business, the only time I was making art, the goal was to make something good that people might want to buy. And I'm at this point where I just feel like I've kind of painted myself into a corner where making art isn't fun anymore. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that I don't feel like the art that I make is very interesting or unique, which makes it really hard to sell anyways. And I've pretty much just let my business die. I like the way that my art looks. Like when I finish an illustration or I make a new sticker sheet, I'm like, that looks really good. It looks really good. It's cute, and skill-wise, it looks pretty good. But there's just something missing. There's no story or concept being illustrated. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't make you feel anything. There's no point of view. There's no personality. Like my personality doesn't inform the art that I'm making. It's just, here's this sort of realistic looking thing that I drew. And I don't even really have ideas for how to make it better. I've just been feeling this desire to get out of my comfort zone and grow and expand my creativity. So that's where this 100 drawing challenge comes in. I thought it would be a good way to start making art just for fun, and just try a whole bunch of different things. So I have some new goals for my art. Number one, take the preciousness out of making art. I want to feel okay about making bad, ugly, useless art. Art just for practice, for experimenting with new ideas. Art that I'm not going to sell, because right now I just don't feel that way. I want to open up my brain to possibilities and ideas and make room for new connections to form. I want to loosen up. I want to stop trying to be so meticulous about everything and just be more free and flowy and loose. Those are all just kind of saying the same thing in different ways, I guess, but I get the main goal, the real goal is just to make a lot of art make so much art that I'm taking the emotion out of it, the pressure, the perfectionism. I remember being in my 20s and going out to this bar with some friends to hear some live music, and there was this couple at the table next to us. Well, I mean, maybe they were just friends. I don't know their romantic situation. But they both had sketchbooks out and they were drawing the people on stage. And I just remember wanting to be like them. And I'm 40 now and I'm still thinking about that. So I'm going to actually try to be more like that instead of just wishing that I was more like that. So for these 100 chickens, I'm going to try using some different combinations of mediums, like the markers and colored pencils that I'm doing here, but also maybe I will try some watercolor with colored pencils, or maybe just a graphite pencil or a black pen or colored pencil outlined with a black pen. And then I also want to mix up the style. So I'm going to try some stuff like this where it's really bright and colorful, but also do some with more natural colors. I'm going to try some that look more realistic, but also some that are more just sketchy and gestural, if that's a word. More stylized, just like a quick sketches, you know, without really thinking about it too much. I just really want to be more creative in my brain and not just with my hands, if that makes sense. More creative with my ideas, I guess. So I'm going to share this process here, and I'm not sure how many videos it will end up being. I do want to do some of this off camera because for the same reasons, like I already said. I'm trying to take the pressure off, so I don't want to add a new type of pressure where I'm just doing it to make videos. But I do want to share it, so I'm going to try to find a balance there, and I'll figure it out. Okay, so I finished this little group of chickens by adding some details with the white Posca pen, and I am obsessed with them. And I don't say that I'm obsessed with things, but I really am obsessed with these. I just love these bright colors and the combinations of them, and just, they're so cute. And chickens are so funny and whimsical already, so I feel like they were the perfect animal to be represented in this way. And I really did have a fun time doing this. I even did a couple off camera because I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to keep trying different combinations of colors and different placements of them and stuff. All right, I didn't record a long enough voiceover, so I'm just gonna let the end of this video play with music or something. And then that concludes part 1 of the 100 chickens challenge. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, could you give it a thumbs up before you leave? And maybe even subscribe so that you can catch part 2 when I post that. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye!